It is Monday, September the 11th. Although we'll be talking about manifestation and ways to better your life on this live, we're also just going to send love and good thoughts to all the people that lost their lives today or that lost a family member on the worst day, at least one of the worst days in the history of the world. September 11th, I'm sure every person on here, if you were alive then and old enough to remember, you remember exactly where you were on September the 11th. And I was in one of my few days of college. I was in an arts college for dance. And I didn't like the school. I had pretty much a full scholarship as a dance major. And I remember that I was there that morning and a girl's mother from California called her and said a plane went into one of the towers. And at that time, I didn't even know what the World Trade Center was. I was 18 years old. And then we heard that another one hit. And then we heard that our country was under attack. From there, I left school. I walked all the way home, which was a pretty far walk. And I never went back to school after that. And the amount of terror that I'm sure many of us felt, my neck is better today than it was yesterday, but I still have really bad nerve pain when I look a certain way, when I move my head a certain way. Yesterday was really strange. But walked all the way home, and from then I'm sure many people had PTSD after that, of thinking that we were going to be under attack and living in this space of fear. And how does that have to do with manifestation? So anytime that there are false flag events and things, there are always warnings before that, right? And, this country is threatening to bomb this country, or, there's a possible tsunami coming your way, or, just whatever catastrophic event, right? We're always told before it happens. And that's pretty much us giving our consent to these events to unfold. And it's especially very prominent in the truther community because before, let's just take it back a couple weeks, before anything was even announced, it was Alex Jones said that lockdowns are coming back and masks are going to happen. What did the truther community do? Spread it like wildfire. So that is a manifestation. This is how manifestation works. When you imprint something into someone's mind, into their subconscious, that's what happens, and it's printed out into the three-dimensional world. Our computer writes up a program, and then once we had that belief or the upload into that program, it is printed into the three-dimensional world. So had millions of people around the world not spread, oh, masks are coming back, they're going to try and lock us down again. This is confirming, and this is also manifesting the reality to happen. So I don't remember 2001. What happened before that? I wasn't paying attention to any of that stuff. Were there imminent threats then, saying from, Osama bin Laden, all these things? Probably. And that is predictive programming, and that is how we manifest realities. And the more that we do these things, and the more that we spread these things, the more real it becomes. Not because that's what we want, but because people don't understand the way that this matrix system works. People don't understand the power of the mind. People don't understand the power of programming the mind. And then how that turns our programming into an actual reality. And so on a day like today, it's a good day to harvest energy for darker forces, because a lot of people are very somber, people are very sad. And a lot of these tragedies, or mostly all these tragedies, are used to harvest this energy that we give off collectively. Where we said illusion is a separation. Or separation is an illusion, rather. Or the illusion of separation. Because there really is no separation. So that whole idea that we are one because we are is used against us, because the collective consciousness manifests reality, but these evil powers make us believe that we're completely separate from one another, or they divide us and or divide us into a million different things. Divide us by religion, divide us by race, divide us by color, divide us by the way that you think, mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine. Every single belief system that we have is just a part of division. So if we all believe that we're separate from one another, we don't understand the power in really that we are all one consciousness. So we don't understand these things. So I'm going to read from today. It's called At Your Command by Neville Goddard. Very powerful stuff. Talking about the I am, talking about God, talking about Jesus, talking about where this all fits in. And if this does not resonate with you, obviously you don't have to listen to it. But do not push your beliefs onto me, because this is not that type of party. You can have whatever belief system that you want. It doesn't mean that I'm reading this and I'm right, or your belief system is right and someone else is wrong. It's our own journey that we take ourselves. So whatever that journey might be, respect it. Respect other people's journeys. Many people have a problem that they love you and they claim their faith and everything else until you disagree with them. And then the love is lost. That is hypocritical. So, it says, do not speculate as to how you shall express these qualities or claims. So whatever it is that you want it to appear in your reality, these qualities or claims, we don't know how they will come to be. But if that is our true belief, it will come to pass, whether it is good or whether it is bad. That's why manifestation is so important, I feel, to learn about, because if you understand the way that your reality works and operates, that's the only way that you can shift and change it, or that we can shift and change it collectively, is how we understand the way that it works. I assure you, the day you claim these qualities to the point of convictions, your claims will be honored. Most of us have negative belief systems. So if we are trying to claim or convict ourselves of how much we believe in something, so much that it comes to fruition in our reality, we would all do that. But most people have an issue with believing that good things can come to them when they're living in a place of poverty, or when they're living in a place of sadness or doubt or worry. But the only way to change or shift the reality is to change or shift the programming in your mind first. There is nothing covered that shall not be uncovered. That which is spoken in secret shall be proclaimed from the housetops. That is your secret convictions of yourself. These secrets claim that no man knows of, when really believed, will be shouted from the housetops in your world. So again, these secret claims that no man knows of, when you really believe them, they will be shouted from the rooftops, which means that they will be seen by everyone. The things that you truly believe in yourself will be seen by others, whether it's good or bad, right? So if we have true beliefs about something really bad happening, that will unfold in your reality, and other people will get to witness that in your reality. Not because they know that you think of it, you're thinking of it, and that this is why your reality looks like this, because most people don't understand this. But there is no secret that can be hidden within us, because what we dwell in all day long is what our reality is. So if someone wants to know exactly who you are, they can just look you in the face, look at your reality. And they know that is exactly what you believe about yourself to be true. People that are living in poverty, people that are maybe not happy with the way that they look, people that are always miserable all the time, people that are constantly complaining all the time. Those are the secrets of man. Those are the secrets that you live and dwell in. But they're not secrets because they come to your outside. They come to fruition on the outside. So someone that's truly struggling, you know exactly that person's secrets because they're living them. I hope that makes sense because there's not a lot of people commenting right now, but I hope that that makes sense. Sometimes, like when I've spoken at places, like it's so quiet you can hear a pin drop, and I'm like, is everybody following what I'm saying right now? People are like, yeah. I'm just intrigued by what you're saying. So just checking to see if everybody's alive this morning. Okay. So that which is spoken in secret shall be proclaimed from the housetops. Okay. So we have people are saying that yes, it does. I'm like, are we awake this morning? Or whatever time it is from wherever you're at in life. That is your secret convictions of yourself. Okay, I already read that. For your convictions of yourself are the words of the God within you, which words are spirit and cannot return unto you void, but must accomplish whereunto they are sent. They're sent outward. Our beliefs are sent outwards. Okay, so we got this. Okay, guys. I'm just making sure. So I'm like, I don't see anybody saying anything. So are they like lost this morning or what? I'm not awake legally. Okay. You are at this moment calling out of the infinite, that which you are now conscious of being. And not one word or conviction will fail to find you. So once you live and embody this type of, I don't know, truth, I will say, because it's not really a belief, it's a truth. Because it's been proven, based on science, right? So you are at this moment calling out of the infinite that which you are now conscious of being. Once you are conscious of what you are, that's the only way that you can change it. If you're not conscious that you complain all day, if you're not conscious that every single day you're like, oh my God, I feel like shit today. And then you feel like shit every day. Just like me complaining about my neck. Yesterday, when it started to hurt again, I said, my neck is getting better every single day. Thank you. And I woke up and my neck feels a lot better today. But I wasn't conscious of it. I'm like, oh my God, my neck hurts. Like, ow, my neck hurts. When you're not conscious of the things that you're saying all day long, it's just more of that is going to come to you and you don't even realize why. But when you shift your state of being, because you recognize what state of being that you're living, I'm living in a state of complaint. I'm complaining about my pain all day. I'm complaining that I have no money. I'm complaining that I hate my home. I'm just giving examples, not me. But once you are conscious of that, you can become conscious of changing and shifting that. So I went from, oh my God, my neck hurts all day. Like, why is this happening? Like, I don't understand. I didn't do anything for my neck to hurt like this. To, my neck feels better and better every single day. When I wake up tomorrow, my neck is going to feel so much better. And what happened? It did. It felt better. I don't know why my neck hurts. I have a pinched nerve and I didn't do anything to cause it. So I looked up the metaphysical reason why. Quote, I am the vine and ye are the branches. Consciousness is the vine. And those qualities which you are now conscious of being they're the branches that feed and keep alive, that you feed and keep alive. So I am, right, is consciousness here. That is the vine. And then all the things that we are conscious of being are the branches. Yes. So if our consciousness is a vine and all the qualities are the branches, what are the things that you're thinking of that are the branches that are extending out into your reality? Are they good things? Are they bad things? Are they negative things? I had 3 patches on my neck yesterday. The Eon patch helps me every single time, honestly. The Eon patch is specifically for inflammation, and it's called the happy patch because it helps with de-stressing the body. What we fear also will manifest. Sore neck may be from someone in your life is a pain in the neck. Now that could be more true, right? Okay. Just as a branch has no life except it be rooted in the vine, so likewise things have no life except you be conscious of them. But the thing is, the trick is, even the things that we're not conscious of, when we're just living life and thinking that things are happening to us out of bad luck, that will also become your branches. But once you're conscious of those things that you're giving literal life to, you're giving life to these things by thinking of them, by dwelling of them, by having that poor self-concept, by having that programming that says, we can't afford this, how are we going to pay the rent? When we hear our parents say these things, when we don't get the attention and the love that we needed from the people that were supposed to give those things to us, that becomes a programming in us, and then we live from that programming. So you might not even realize that you're giving life to these things by just being who you are. But once you're aware, oh yeah, I remember my dad used to say that to me. Oh yeah, I remember my brother said that to me when I was young. I'm just giving examples. Oh yeah, my mom did this and she wasn't there for me. Whatever it is. Those are the programs that we live by. My grandmother, I remember my grandmother said this to me, right? We don't even realize that we're giving life to these things so that these things become the branches of our lives. But once we are aware, like, I remember this. That's why I feel this way. I was bullied when I was in school. That's why, I always am defensive. I know a person that was severely bullied and they still live from that place. They're in their 40s. They became like a champion athlete, beating the shit out of people. Those programmings live us. So until we understand why we are, why our reality looks the way that it looks, we cannot shift and change it. Just as a branch withers and dies if the sap of the vine ceases to flow towards it, so do things in your world pass away if you take your attention away from them. Because your attention is the sap of life that keeps alive and sustains the things of your world. Right? If we are giving constant attention to something, we are keeping it alive. We are keeping that story alive. Whether it's a breakup or it's a fight with somebody. There's people in my family that haven't spoken to each other for probably over 20 years. What do you think their life is like? If you're living in anger every single day and resentment every single day and ego every single day, that's the story that you keep alive in your life. Gotta go cut my grass, talk to you later. Okay, have fun. But do we understand that? We think that by holding a grudge against someone else, that it's going to make us feel better. But it harvests energy, it harnesses energy in the body, and you eventually become sick because of it, right? To dissolve a problem that now seems so real to you, all that you have to do is remove your attention from it. In spite of its seeming reality, turn from it in consciousness, become indifferent, and begin to feel yourself to be that which would be the solution of the problem. And I've learned this. I've learned to do this. And now that I remove my attention from something, right? I remove my attention from what maybe other people would perceive to be a problem. And I don't do this with everything. I'm still learning to apply this to everything. But certain scenarios in my life that have come up, I'm able to turn away from what people would perceive as a problem, and I look at it differently, and I just see it differently in my mind. And then all of a sudden it shifts. All of a sudden it changes. All of a sudden the scenario is different. And then all of a sudden the scenario becomes what I've been seeing it as in my mind. So to dissolve a problem that now seems so real to you, right? Because everything is perspective. I'm reading from At Your Command by Neville Goddard. Everything is just perspective. What might seem like a huge problem to you or to me, to another person, it's like, oh, that's easy. Like, just do this. So it literally is all perspective. And once you shift from being a victim to the circumstances of your life to, I have full control over this, and there's something within me that caused that scenario. So let me go back into my consciousness and view this differently. I'm so glad that it helps. I really am. Thank you, Karen, for putting that. No, but I'm glad that it helps, and I feel that it is empowering for us to to learn this, because we can shift. And say however many people are on here right now take this and they apply it, and then that becomes the branches of your reality, literally, because your branches and your knowledge and your wisdom is then going to help other people. And then the other people that are helping you, help them to shift their reality. They can help other people shift their reality. It becomes a rippling effect, right? Or a rippled effect. Become indifferent and begin to feel yourself to that which would be the solution of the problem. For instance, if you were in prison, no man would tell you that you should desire freedom. Freedom, or rather the desire of freedom, would be automatic. So why look behind the four walls of your prison bars? Take your attention from being in prison and begin to feel yourself to be free. Feel it to the point where it's natural. The very second you do, those prison bars will dissolve. Apply this same principle to any problem. And I read a story, I don't remember who told this story. I don't know if it was Bruce Lipton or somebody. But they were saying that a person that was in prison all of a sudden just started to see themselves to be free. And there was no chance that they were getting out. I think they had like a life sentence. Something happened. I wish I could remember the story, but something happened. I don't know if it was able to be appealed or something crazy happened. And all of a sudden this person was out of prison. They were in prison for years, but they saw themselves to be free. They believed in that belief so much so that it happened. There are no impossibilities. There's really nothing in this reality that is impossible. It's all about our consciousness and where we focus our energy, whether that is a conscious energy that we're focusing on or an unconscious energy. I have seen people who were in debt up to their ears apply this principle, and in the twinkling of an eye, debts that were mountainous were removed. I told you guys this, I think Friday. I manifested $5,000 out of thin air in about 3, 4, or 5 hours. I was listening to a YouTube thing about manifesting money, and we literally did like this really short meditation. And I think this guy manifested 10,000. I was like, let's not get crazy, okay? Let's just manifest 5,000. And I manifested $5,000, I tell you, out of thin air in a couple of hours. So things are possible, right? This reality is all about magic. Not black magic, not dark magic. It is a lot of black magic. But it depends on how you use your magic, how you use your wand, how you use your words, because your words are your wand. But I manifested that money in hours. You're saying I've seen people in debt up to their ears apply this principle. And in the blink of an eye, their debts were removed. I have seen those whom doctors had given up as incurable take their attention away from their problem of disease and begin to feel themselves to be well in spite of the evidence of their sense to the contrary. In no time at all, the so-called incurable disease vanished and left no scar. Tell us more about your 5K manifestation. When you believe shit to be true and you let go of the outcome, that's when it comes to you, but you're just like all day like, oh my God, please give me $5,000. I'm getting $5,000. Like, that's begging. That's coming from a state of lack. But we did this. It was through Robert Zink. I love, guys, Robert Zink is probably in his 60s. And this guy is just like a G. Like, all of his, ow, that hurt. All of his manifesting techniques are like really, they're just cool. Like, he's a cool guy. But I was listening to one of his videos about manifesting money. And it was literally a short, maybe a 10-minute meditation that we did. And it was about visualizing and seeing, and I don't remember what the visualization was. But maybe it was, that you see yourself opening up your bank account and there's $5,000. Or maybe you open up an email and something like, okay, for example. Yes, Robert is amazing. So for example, this weekend, so I did something for like a course on sovereignty, and I signed up to be like an affiliate. This was probably a year ago. One of my friends was like, hey, would you want to do an affiliate for this? I didn't really want to do it, but I was like, sure. There's other people out there that would probably want to learn about this stuff. And they kept emailing me, and I thought this was like a spam email. They're like, you have $600 available. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, but finally, like, this is the final email. If you don't claim this money, we're going to do whatever with it. So I was like, what is this? So I just opened it, and I randomly have like almost $600 in this account. But I have that belief system that money comes to me in an overabundance every single day. I believe in that, right? Thank you, Karen. Robert Zink, manifesting videos. So just randomly, there's $600 in an account somewhere that was just like, that I just never claimed the money. So I was just like, oh, thank you. Thank you, universe, for providing for me today with just random money that just falls from whatever, right? Everyone wants to give me, okay. There's manifestation videos with phrases like, everyone wants to give me money. My pockets are full of money. Guys, I'm telling you that it works. I've done this with a lot of things, like a lot. Manifesting things within minutes, within hours, right? Okay, so people that cured themselves of incurable diseases. That is one of the things that, what's his name? That talks about the heart coherence. Why did his name just leave my head? But he cured himself. If Benny's in here, Benny was paralyzed. He couldn't walk. Now he walks several miles a day with no walker, no cane, no nothing. Because he saw it in his head and he started with gratitude. Guys, I'm telling you, when you shift your mindset, no matter what it's about, whether it's financially, whether it's professionally in your career, whether it's your relationships or your, Joe Dispenza, thank you. Benny is in here. No matter what, and there's a couple people in here that want to come to the retreat, and I always get messages like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out financially and this and that. And I say to every single person, see yourself there. See yourself at the retreat. See yourself with your toes in the sand. See yourself in full detail, sitting at a table with complete strangers that you're now friends with. See yourself there, and it will happen. It will shift. But you have to just have blind faith in it and drop it and let it go. Yep, I'll be at that retreat. Yep, I'm going to be at this vacation spot that I've always wanted to be at. It's going to happen. I'm going to be there. Right? I celebrated walking 2 miles every day for 10 months yesterday. Ben, that's freaking incredible. That is absolutely incredible. But I will go back to my retreat. Like, I wanted to plan a retreat. I had no idea what it was going to take. No idea. I could have said, see, Shelly's now coming to the retreat. And she said, you told me that too. I said, Shelly, you're going to be at this retreat. You're going to be at this retreat. She's like, but I don't understand. Like, how am I going to do this? And all of a sudden, money fell out of the sky for Shelly too. It's when you just have the blind faith that you're going to do something, it's going to happen no matter what it is. Whether it's your health, whether it is buying your favorite thing that you sold at the store, you're like, oh, I can't afford that. And all of a sudden you shift your mindset. Maybe somebody gives it to you. Maybe someone's like, here, I saw this and I thought of you. There's a million different ways that things come to manifestation, that things come to fruition. And maybe it's not the way that you thought it was, but it's not our job either to say, well, how could this happen? It's impossible. How? How could this happen? It's impossible. It's not our job to think of the how. There are a million different ways in life that something that you're manifesting can come to you, and it's not our job to figure it out. When you have that full control that you think it can only happen in steps 1, 2, and 3, you're stopping yourself from, and you're limiting yourself from the limitless ways that things can be brought to you in the world. You're telling God how you should be having something. Well, if it doesn't happen like this, or this, then it isn't going to happen. No, you're wrong about that. You couldn't be more wrong about that. God has limitless ways of creation and creating things. So who are we to tell Source how something should come to being, because that's the way that we think that it should be? You're limiting yourself and you're blocking your true blessings from coming to you by thinking it should only come in this form, A, B, and C. Sometimes bad things happen on the way to your manifestation, and people say, see, I knew that this doesn't work, and that you're in that negative mindset, but you don't know if that is the bridge of incidents. In order to build a bridge, you have to build it brick by brick, piece by piece, wire by wire. And one person can have one way of building this bridge, and another person could have a different way of building the bridge, and neither of them are wrong. Everybody or everything takes a different way to get to that destination, which is your manifestation. So just because you think something should unfold in the way that it does doesn't mean that it's going to. And just because it's not unfolding in the way that you want it to doesn't mean that it's not unfolding. You just have to have faith that, like, this is happening. I think I have 3 people so far that were like, I really want to come to this retreat. I really want to come to this retreat. And I said, you're going to be at this retreat. See yourself there. Do it. Do it. See yourself there. I know, but I just don't have the money right now. I'm like, how am I going to be able to do this? I don't give a shit how much money you have in your bank account. See yourself there. You can see a family member and be like, Hey, I heard you're having a difficult time. I want to give you $5,000. I want to give you $10,000. I want to give you $100,000. Anything could happen as a possibility to get you where you want to go. Anything. So we can't limit ourselves and say, well, I'm not seeing this in my reality now, so that means I'm not getting it. There are always things happening behind the scenes that we know nothing of. When we plant a seed in the ground, do we fully understand how that seed becomes a huge tree? Do we really understand how that works? We don't. People in science probably do. They probably know every step of it. But I'm saying for the majority of people in this reality, you don't know what happens. How does that seed, that tiny seed, all of a sudden sprout and then all of a sudden become little things, and then it turns into branches and it turns into a gigantic 300-foot tree? How does that happen? Go in a forest and go ask yourself, how the hell did all these trees get here? We don't know how they became what they became. They just did. The same way with manifesting reality. We don't know how we're going to get the things that we want. We just have the faith that it's going to happen. Like when you pray, and when you pray for miracles, and when you have all these people together praying for a healing miracle for somebody that's sick, you don't know how that person is going to get well. You just know in your mind they're going to. You don't know the steps A through Z that it's going to take to get this healing manifestation to manifest. But you just have the faith that it's going to happen for us. That is the power of words. That is power of thinking. That is the power of your consciousness. That's the power of your mind. And until you see the reality that way, you're not going to be able to live the life that you truly want. Maybe you'll get things and then they'll go away because you don't truly believe that you even deserve to have them. So when we change the concept of ourselves and the things that we think about, or how we think about ourselves, then our reality shifts and changes. When man realizes that he is now that which he is seeking and begins to claim that he is, he will have the proof of his claim. This cue is given you in words, whom seek ye? And they answered, Jesus. And the voice said, I am he. Jesus here means salvation or savior. You are seeking to be salvaged from that which is now your problem. I am is he that will save you. If you are hungry, your savior is food. If you are poor, your savior is riches. If you are imprisoned, your savior is freedom. If you are diseased, it will not be a man called Jesus who will save you, but health will become your savior. Therefore claim I am he. In other words, claim yourself to be the thing desired. Claim it in consciousness, not in words, and consciousness will reward you with your claim. See, this is where I think it starts to trigger people when you talk about Jesus and different things. And some people believe that Jesus was a man. Some people believe that Jesus was a form of consciousness. Some people believe that Jesus was a man that attained a certain level of consciousness known as Christ consciousness, right? So I don't think it really matters what your beliefs are when it comes to that. I think what the Bible was trying to teach us, what these type of things are trying to teach us, is that we all have the ability to attain or to get to the level of Christ consciousness if we unpack all of the demons that live within us, right? So we can have heaven in our consciousness or we can have hell. And whatever we choose, that's what our reality becomes. Okay, so some people are saying that the live is getting messed up, but that's kind of par for the course at this point. You are told, ye shall find me when you feel after me. Ye shall find me when you feel after me. So that this is saying, you shall find me. The me is what you are conscious of being, right? After you feel me. So if Neville Goddard says feeling is the secret. And it's the same thing with prayer. If we feel it to be real, you're praying so hard, like you just see somebody that's healed, or you see your life in the way that you want it, and you're praying so hard, you're feeling it to be real. You shall find me when you feel after me. Feel after that quality and consciousness until you feel yourself to be it. When you lose yourself in the feeling of being it, the quality will embody itself in your world. You are healed from your problem when you touch the solution of it. Who has touched me? For I perceive virtue has gone out of me. So yes, the day you touch this being within you, feeling yourself to be cured or healed, virtues will come out of your very self and solidify themselves in your world of healings. Are we following that? Let's just see if there's any. I'm reading from At Your Command. It's pinned at the bottom. How amazing how a female can build a baby in the body, growing eyes, heart cells, teeth, etc. And again, that is a manifestation of life. We don't know or understand how a baby grows in the womb, but it just happens. And then 9 months later, or whatever the time span that your pregnancy is, you birth what was just an idea or a thought or a desire. And it's the same thing with manifestation. We give birth to the things that our desires, or that are what our desires are, right? It's about giving birth. Every single day we are giving birth to our deepest beliefs. So if you do not want those beliefs, the core beliefs, which are the negative ones, to manifest into your reality, it's like picking a different partner. Your whole life you've been partnered up with something that is essentially an enemy, that belief system, that self-concept that you have of yourself, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. That's like your partner, right? That's like, I'm married to a person that's negative all the time. It's the same thing with your consciousness. Are you married to a consciousness or a belief system that is manifesting and giving birth to things in your reality that you don't want? Ask that part of your consciousness to get a divorce and replace it with a loving partner. Replace it with a partner that believes that you can have money, that believes that you are worthy of love and being desired. Get rid of that bad partner of consciousness. Yes, every day we are giving birth to our beliefs, whether we want to or not. And most of us are not consciously manifesting. So if we're not consciously manifesting, we're just accepting the reality that we have because we think that that's just the hand of cards that we were dealt. And that's not true. We can shift our reality. We can pick a better partner of consciousness to give birth to the baby of reality that we actually want. I think that's a pretty visual way to put that. What is this quote? Except the Lord built the house, they labor in vain that built it. It is said, you believe in God. Believe also in me, for I am he. Have the faith of God. He made himself one with God and found it not robbery to do the works of God. Go you and do likewise. Begin to believe your awareness, your consciousness of being to God. Claim for yourself all the attributes that you have heretofore given an external God, and you will begin to express, my left ear is ringing, and you will begin to express these claims. So again, it goes back to your I am oneness. It goes back to what ideas are you giving birth to every single day? Because that's literally what's happening. You don't like reality? Stop sleeping with the enemy up here. Go find yourself a really good partner of your own consciousness that you're not at war with. That's not telling you, put that back, you can't afford that today. That person will never love you, that you always get cheated on. No one ever chooses me, I'm always left. I see myself as a victim. Or you are a victim. If you're choosing that partner of consciousness, or if you don't even realize that you're choosing it until today, until you're listening to this, divorce that part of you. Recreate the consciousness, recreate whatever's going on in your mind until you believe it. Think about it so much, believe in it so much that it becomes your reality. It becomes the idea that you give birth to. Time flies, man. So we'll leave it at that today. Okay? Again, I always say this at the last part. My retreat, what's today? So September 11th. So we are just a couple weeks away from the retreat. If anybody wants to come, I tell you, do not allow anything else to get in your way. in your mind of saying, I'm going to be at this retreat because that's where I want to go. And I'm saying this with any part of your life, but I'm saying specifically the retreat's coming up. If you want to see yourself at this retreat, see yourself there, it will happen. It will happen. I promise you, I've done this for 3 people already. There's 3 people that have signed up that have said to me, I can't afford this. How am I going to get there? I said, you're going to be there. See yourself there, and you are going to be there. Everything is once an idea in the mind. We can give birth to many different realities. So choose the reality that you want to give birth to based on your thoughts. Do you want to give birth to the reality that everything negative happens to me all the time and I never have good luck and there's a dark cloud following me? You will absolutely give birth to that idea. But if you walk around every single day and say, oh my God, I'm so grateful. There's so many good things that are going to happen to me today. I can't wait for the miracles that are going to happen to me today. That is the reality that you're going to give birth to. So remember that. And I hope that this live was helpful. And I hope that you all have an amazing day. I hope you guys all have an amazing, amazing day and week. And I'll see you. I'll be live this week, whenever, a lot. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys in Tulum. I know that I will see a couple of you in Tulum. And I love you all. If you have any questions about anything, especially regarding the retreat, just shoot me a DM and I'll be happy to chat with you about it. Have an amazing and beautiful day. I love you all.